That got Minnesota back on track, gave them a glimmer of hope, and then Garrett Lowney came through with a fall, and Minnesota came through in that consolation round and now nearly has an insurmountable lead. It's still mathematically possible. Iowa can do it, but Minnesota now knows they are in a position to win.
There is head coach Jay Robinson celebrating, and why not? So now, the current standings, Minnesota 138.5, Iowa in second place, mathematically still with a chance to take the lead at 117.5, but they've got to do a lot of work. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and Illinois round out the top 5. Cale Sanderson is the man of the hour here. The Iowa State wrestler, as you saw earlier, has broken Dan Gable's 100-match win streak. He is the man. He is wrestling tonight, looking for his 3rd straight.
He also has 118 career victories at this point, looking for his 3rd national title. That would surpass Gable right away. And looking at him in the semifinals, he has not had a close match here at the National. He's a pinner. He scores lots of points, very offensive. He's an exciting athlete to watch, Ron.
Well, the team title is out of reach for Cale Sanderson and the Iowa State Cyclones right now. Maybe another year, maybe soon. But he is looking for his 3rd straight national title. We have some fantastic matchups coming your way from Iowa. 20 men will go to the mat this afternoon, but only 10 will walk away with individual national championships. It's been a long season, and now it's time to hand out the glory.
Introducing the latest in all-weather gear from LL Bean. It's the new LL Bean Edition Outback from Subaru. With full-time all-wheel drive, classic LL Bean styling, and a new powerful 6-cylinder engine that makes the toughest drive a walk in the woods. The LL Bean Edition Outback. New from Subaru.
Like a soul separately.
Discover the power of the new 6-cylinder Outback today.
The Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
My dollar!
I'll get it.
You risked your life for just $1?
Just $1. Is a lion just a cat? Did you know that with 10, 10, 220, all calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents?
Only 99 cents?
Yes, indeedy.
And just 7 cents a minute after that.
And no monthly fee.
That's great.
I get chills just thinking about it. Did you feel a draft?
Dial 1010-220. Who can tell me what builds strong bones? Anybody know that one?
Milk, milk. What goes with pie? Milk, milk. What goes with beans?
I'm in. I don't want to hit.
Should have had your man.
Get out.
And Q.
Q? Close?
What about a K?
No, G.
What about an X?
X. Seriously.
I'll have a root beer.
You'll have the milk. Say it with me. Osteo.
G.
Want strong bones? Calcium may help prevent osteoporosis.
Bingo.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NCAA Wrestling Championships is brought to you by Subaru. Visit us at Subaru.com to see our full line of all-wheel drive vehicles. Welcome back to the Hawkeye Carver Arena in Iowa City, Iowa. We told you that Minnesota is poised to take their first national wrestling team title. Well, their coach, Jay Robinson, is with our Jeff Blatnick.
I'm here with Jay. You're on the cusp of perhaps winning your first team title ever. You finished in the last 4 years, third, second, and third. What's the difference this year?
I think the confidence of the team last year, you know, we come short a couple times, and we got a game plan last year what we needed to do to win, and we kind of put that in order, and everything kind of fell in the line.
Last night during the semifinal round, you had 6 people going in. You had a 24-point lead over Iowa. You went 0 for 6. What effect did that have on the team, and what did you say to the team?
Well, it had an effect on the team, but I mean, only 2 of those guys were really supposed to win, so it wasn't that devastating. We knew that the secret was to have 10 All-Americans and the wrestlebacks. So when we went back, we kind of reminded everybody where we were 2 years ago when we came up short by a couple points, and everybody stepped it up today.
Well, you'd be the first team in history to win the national title without a finalist, and you'd be the first team in history to have, you are the first team in history to have 10 All-Americans. How did you think your team wrestled this morning? What did you say to them this morning?
They wrestled great. I think Brandon Eggum, one of the guys that's with us, told them about how when you get stiff and sore, everybody else is stiff and sore, that it just drives them and it makes them work harder. And I think that's the way those guys went out, is that they knew everybody was stiff and sore, but they had to do what they had to do to win, and we knew how many points we had to get, and when we got those 2 falls, it made all the difference in the world.
Anything to say to your fans back home?
Yeah, I think this is for them. Minnesota's been waiting a long time for it, and we're happy to bring it to them.
Well, best of luck. Congratulations. Back to you, Lon.
All right, Jay Robinson's been at it a long time. A nicer man you won't find in wrestling. Ready to go. Get this ball rolling at 125 pounds. It's going to be Stephen Abbas, the Fresno State junior and the #1 seed, taking on Jody Strittmatter of the Iowa Hawkeyes, a senior and the #2 seed. Very impressive records, 33-0 for Abbas, 32-2 for Strittmatter. There you see Stephen Abbas. He is the 1999 champ. He took last year off as a redshirt year, coached by Dennis DeLito in his 20th year at Fresno State, also coached by his dad, Jerry Abbas, a Fresno State grad in his 6th year working at Fresno State. Abbas has been dominating all year long, handling all comers. He beat many of them ranked in the top 10. And the big cheer goes up for Iowa's own Jody Strittmatter. He is one of 4 Hawkeyes in the finals. He is the Big Ten champ. This will be his final match as an Iowa Hawkeye. And I tell you, if he had to pick a place to do it, it would be right here in Carver Hawkeye Arena. He was the #1 seed last year, but he lost in the quarters to Steve Garland. And you know that Jody Strittmatter has something to prove. Iowa in the black, Strittmatter. Abbas from Fresno State in the blue on the left. We're underway.
Lon, these two have met head-to-head once this year, and it was Stephen Abbas who had won that match 14-1. In order for Iowa to have any chance at the team title, all 4 finalists have to win, and they have to pick up 5 bonus points in addition just to tie. So Strittmatter wants to win this match, but if he can pick up extra points in doing it by pinning, major decision, or technical fall, he will help the Iowa cause.
When Abbas scores, don't be confused that a large contingent has come out from Fresno to watch their man. No, it'll be the Minnesota fans cheering for Stephen Abbas to defeat Iowa and knock Iowa out of the championship.
And this is where Stephen Abbas does very, very well. He's great technician at shooting on the legs, very quick, has great setups to get in on him, and there you see him scoring. And he's going to get back points right off the back against Strittmatter. Near fall, it's called.
Referee Dave Frisch right there on the edge of the action. A 3-minute period will start us off, and then 2 2-minute periods and more points being scored. Can you keep track there, Jeff?
Absolutely. What happens is it's the same pinning combination, so they're looking to try to get a 5 count to give him 3 near fall. He only held him there less than 5 seconds, so he gets 2 near fall points, scores now 4-0. And as long as he stays in that same position, he can't get more and more points. It's the same count.
Strittmatter down and in the grass. Abbas will let him go on a 1-point escape for Strittmatter. 4-1 for the Fresno State junior. He'll be back next year.
He's wonderful to watch. He took last year off to train for a potential Olympic berth. He didn't make that, but he certainly improved his wrestling a whole bunch going up against the men who represent us here at the United States level on the Olympic team. But what a wonderful athlete, superbly conditioned, and best of all, his technique. For anyone who doesn't understand wrestling, it's not about power. A lot of it is about leverage, and that's what technique's all about. And there you can just see how it's smooth.
Another shot.
He moves, and to earn that takedown. In on the legs quickly, and then you move to the area of least resistance with your technique. It's the best way to wrestle, and Stephen Abbas is very, very good at it.
Such a tall order for Strittmatter to come in here. Dennis DeLito looking on, a very little coaching going on, really, because his man really has this under control. But Strittmatter, I was going to say, has a tall order to go against a man like Stephen Abbas.
I'm sure Coach Zaleski of Iowa told him, don't worry about the team race. You go out there, wrestle your match. You beat Stephen Abbas to win the individual crown.
6-2, Fresno State on top of Iowa here in the first of 10 championship matches coming to you from the University of Iowa.
Coach DeLito, very interesting character from Fresno State, the head coach.
Got him again.
And there you can just see how nicely he moves, and that's great wrestling. That's exciting wrestling.
8 points scored in the first 3-minute period for Stephen Abbas. It is 8-2. We've got 4 minutes of wrestling to go, but look how easily he gets it done.
Just wonderful. In on a double leg. He reads the way that Strittmatter is countering him and moves towards that direction to keep the pressure on the legs, controlling the hips, finishes with that takedown.
Abbas has already told referee Dave Frisch he's going to let Strittmatter go, so Strittmatter gets the escape point, and that creates some problems for the Fresno State wrestler.
Yeah, as soon as he turned the face, he took a quick shot and it caught Abbas flat-footed. Now Strittmatter has a chance to put a takedown points up on the board, and he needs this to get back in the match. But watch how Abbas now will move behind. Now he's hooking onto Strittmatter's leg. This will make things harder for Strittmatter.
Now he got it.
Nothing yet. There's the point.
He gave it, yep. Well, you know, Abbas was near the edge of the mat, and earlier he elected not to go out. He had a chance to go out and end that confrontation.
Well, there is a rule. If you purposely go out of bounds to avoid a situation,
sure,
you
there's
can
a rule.
Yeah, there's a rule. Sometimes it gets hit, but sometimes it's difficult to see it. Here in the replay, you see Strittmatter nearly putting Abbas on his back, but that was Abbas trying to counter, and when he knew he couldn't stop the takedown, turned to his belly.
Back live, mid-second period. 8-5.
Look for Strittmatter here to take a chance on top. Might move out for a cradle, throw legs in, look to try to turn him using legs, but Abbas will have none of it. Good hand control by Abbas, turns the face, that's a point. In the neutral position now.
Got him again. Strittmatter needed some warming up, and 8 points being scored against him in the first period maybe did the trick. Is he going to give? He's got to control him. He does. And it's a 2-point match.
And
all of a sudden.
And Abbas has let the crowd back in this now, Lon. And anyone that says there's no home mat advantage is out of their minds. When these people start screaming, it's so loud in here. And Iowa has that tradition. This is an educated audience. This is a savvy audience. We saw some portions of the audience in Minnesota, Iowa State, and such, and they go back and forth with one another.
Escape point for Abbas.
10-7 now to score. 17 points on the board already. Takedown artists here.
The pressure is beginning to build on everyone here in Carver Hawkeye Arena. Strittmatter off balance just for a second. Abbas saw it, could not take advantage.
Abbas didn't have much of a penetration step there. You don't want to reach and get extended with your arms. That's when you become vulnerable, is in an extended position.
Abbas just wants to hang on, no call it. So after the second period, boy, 10-7, and what we thought was going to be a Fresno State runaway. Dennis DeLito now feeling a few more nerves. Jim Zaleski in a very familiar pose here at these championships. Abbas is down for the beginning of the third. He is up by 3 points.
Tom Brands is also in that corner, an Olympic champion and multi-NCAA champion as well. And Strittmatter in again. And definitely the momentum in this match has shifted.
He's got a turn, though.
Same position. This might end up in a
he can turn here.
Yeah, he can turn to the left now.
You know that there's 11,000 referees in here, too.
Needs to move to the head of Abbas. Needs to compress his body towards his head to get his leg back, but now here it's going to be a stalemate. This is going to end in a stalemate.
Yep, that is a stalemate. Dave Frisch calls it. Nobody likes the call. except maybe Stephen Abbott.
And there's some Minnesota people up on their feet, too. They need Strittmatter to lose to lock.
Down low, Abbas with a quick shot. Caught Strittmatter napping.
And once again, that wonderful setup, the good speed, good penetration step, and that's the move he's been scoring with, that double and taking him which way Strittmatter chooses.
13-7. Is it insurmountable? 1 minute to go.
And that stalemate certainly ended that momentum. It seemed as though Strittmatter had a chance to make this a true dogfight, a one-point match. But with that takedown and a 6-point lead, Abbas is going to be very hard to beat.
Well, I think he went back on his heels a little bit earlier in this match, Jeff Abbas did, when he had 8 points on the board.
That was a shot of Dennis DeLito, the Fresno State coach.
Go for broke. Tom Brands in the Iowa corner with Jim Zaleski telling his charge, Jody Strittmatter, he's got to go now.
And he should. Maybe early on in the match you want to win it, but now that you're trailing by 5 points, not only do you need a big move to win the individual match, but it may help the team cause as well. Here we go. Might get it.
You're not going to pin Abbas. Not with 20 seconds to go, are you?
No. It'd be a fluke if that would have happened, but crazy things happen in finals.
No points. Dave Frisch still signaling no points. There you see it, 10 seconds.
As long as his hands stay locked in there, it is. That's
There's
two.
2 points, but he's not going to get the pin. He was close position. He's trying to turn Abbas. 1 second to go. No points scored. Jody Strittmatter cannot put the points on the board, and his final match with an Iowa Hawkeyes. Dennis DeLito and Stephen Abbas both celebrating the national championship once again for the Fresno State Bulldogs. The Minnesota fans are cheering just as loudly because they have a national title. We'll come back to the University of Iowa and the NCAA Wrestling Championships in just a moment.
Your American Car Care Center is the right choice for new tires for your car or truck because your safety is our top priority. Right now, it's double play days at your American Car Care Center. Buy 4 selected American Radio or Michelin tires and get a $50 gift certificate for Major League Baseball merchandise. Buy 2 tires and get a $20 certificate.
The right choice is at Bob's Total Service. Visit us today at 1616 2nd Avenue in Kearney.
Joel and Scott at the Dent Popper have moved. Now the same great Dent Popper service is just a short walk down the street at 2014 First Avenue. The Dent Popper, painless dent repair, now at a new location.
Do you have it? Do you have digital cable in your home? What are you waiting for? This stuff is great. With more sports, more movies, classic westerns, the Game Show Network, pay-per-view, and more. You just gotta have it.
The Iowa fans, yes, they are sad indeed. This is the first time in 4 hostings of an NCAA championships that they have not come away with a national title. Now we go on to 133 pounds. Iowa's got a man on the mat, and that is their own defending champion, Eric Juergens, at 133 pounds, taking on Johnny Thompson, the phenom freshman from Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State has had quite a presence, as they always do in this NCAA tournament. They won the first one, official one, back in '34, and they seem to always be there.
Well, they dominated the early years of NCAA national championships. It's been Iowa who's dominated the last 2 decades, 2.5 decades, more like. But this should be a great one, a senior against a redshirt freshman. Experience against youth. Juergens, great leg technician. Oklahoma State, not quite as aggressive as the Iowa style, but Thompson, on the other hand, puts points up on the board.
Juergens in the Iowa black. Thompson in that familiar cowboy orange.
And if there's a contrast in styles between Oklahoma State and Iowa, it will be, there's John Smith, Olympic champion, multi-NCAA champion for OSU. OSU has adopted John Smith's style of low single. And they attack on the fringes. They're very good at attacking single legs. Iowa, on the other hand, likes to remove hips. They move right in and try double legs, high crotches in which they cut the hips directly out. Now, you can get to that from a single leg, but Iowa takes the direct route, and it seems at Oklahoma State. Beautiful dump. Threatened with that fireman's carry and dump, and able to get the first takedown is Thompson.
Let him go right away. He thinks he can do it again. Johnny Thompson, the Big 12 champ. Eric Juergens, the defending champ. No, did they wave that off?
They waved the 2 points off. I don't know if the knee had touched the ground. It happened so fast there, but if the knee did touch the ground, then he could award the takedown, but the referee said no. He didn't touch the ground, took the call back.
Referee Tom Galen reverses himself within just a matter of seconds. John Smith already getting heated up.
Smith won the NCAAs when he first came in, team championship, but he's had some tough luck since. He's had some good teams come in here, but they haven't been able to perform, including this year's squad.
All right.
Juergens back with his own takedown.
3-2. Juergens leads Thompson.
Let's take a look at it again here on the head, ankle pick, then he switches off, gets a double, knocks Thompson down, gets the takedown. He leads now 3-2.
Johnny Thompson backing up, got his legs crossed. He'll let him go. So we're tied at 3 with that voluntary escape.
It seemed Thompson seemed a little too relaxed as he backed off there. I'm wondering if he senses that Juergens is coming after him hard now. He needs to stay focused.
Well, I think focus really is the problem for Oklahoma State, to tell you the truth. When their number 1 man, Reggie Wright, went out early on, he ended up in the wrestlebacks, also consolations of maybe a lot of people know them as, and he ended up getting pinned. Number 1 seed got pinned in the wrestlebacks. So focus, I think, maybe goes out the window. The heart fire maybe die just a little bit.
Well, that certainly will hurt OSU's chances of the team championship. They needed him to perform. And if he did perform, they'd be in the lead right now.
Absolutely.
We shouldn't lay it all on Wright, though.
No,
you never lay it.
Yeah,
you know, but I mean, as a number 1 seed, that's a very difficult thing to have happen to you.
We are tied at 3. 36 seconds to go in the first period.
Oh, beautiful
what
knee
a
pick. Nice knee pick, but Thompson turns it around and scores the takedown. What a counter. What a counter.
Juergens had the takedown all but put away. But Johnny Thompson with the counter turned on him. Amazing.
And we're back 5-5 now. Back and forth these two wrestlers are going. That's still 5-4. 5-4.
Just the 1 point for the escape, Juergens. So here's the shot by Iowa's Juergens.
And they're nearly having him, but he couldn't pull his right arm through to cover Thompson. Thompson alertly threw legs in, able to get the score.
And that's the end of the first period. 5-4, Thompson on top. We'll be back.
Is it hip, baby? It's so hip, baby. All messed around and fell in love.
Jack Daniel's Grill, only on Fridays.
Today we discover our destiny. Amid chaos, we find truth. Fight fear with strength. Because in this world, nothing is certain. The Bouncer, rated T for T. Square.
We think you need to integrate your global supply chain, move assembly overseas, and accelerate inventory velocity.
Great. Do it.
Sir, we don't actually do what we propose. We just propose it.
UPS can help redesign your supply chain and make it work. From managing your logistics to financing your inventory, we deliver more than just packages.
Can you believe that guy?
UPS, moving at the speed of business.
Where did that come from?
I got it from cellularone.com. Oh, sweetie, I love you too.
That's not the governor by any chance, is it?
Welcome back to the University of Iowa. Third round action between Johnny Thompson of Oklahoma State on top in the orange and Eric Juergens of the University of Iowa. Thompson leads 7-6. Final 2 minutes and an escape point for Thompson, and we're tied for Juergens, and we're tied.
Iowa's got the lead, and they're still attacking. The Iowa trademark.
Hey.
In your face, keep going. There's a familiar face, Dan Gable.
We hope Dan will be joining us a little bit later on in the afternoon. 7-7. Eric Juergens, the defending champion, and Johnny Thompson, the Big 12 champ.
And Juergens, you see him leading Thompson around, forcing him to move to match. And that is the way Iowa loves to wrestle. Pressure. Nothing from the outside, in your face.
Oh, he's got Thompson backing up, got him off balance just a bit.
Well, Thompson has no time to hit any offense. He's doing everything he can just to counter. And it gets frustrating when you can't get your offense on track.
Thompson was hit for a stall call earlier, and the fans want it again, and there it goes.
And Juergens now on the ankle.
So it is an 8-7 lead for Iowa's Eric Juergens with 57 seconds to go. No riding time.
And sometimes this is where experience pays off. You've been in these situations as a freshman. Will he panic or will he break?
Late in the match, I would always put the chips on the Iowa wrestler, though.
Oh, yeah. It's going to come to the takedown here. Thompson has a hope it's a takedown, and if Juergens gets one, it should put the match away. Once again, it's Iowa, the athlete moving forward.
20 seconds to a national championship again for Eric Juergens. They're out.
Be interesting for Juergens now. He has an opportunity to shoot on wide open legs. He'll probably take it and try to kill the time hanging on the legs. Otherwise, he's going to have to fend, and there it is.
He's got to go. He's got the single leg.
Thompson came right after him. Oh, and there's a wicked
crossface. It's over.
10-7 the score. 10-7.
A terrific counter for Eric Juergens. And he gives this Iowa crowd what they came here for, a national title. Two-time NCAA champion at 133 pounds, Eric Juergens. It was Johnny Thompson who needed a takedown in the final seconds. Thompson went down low on the single, but then he let go. And Eric Juergens turned on a dime, took control of Johnny Thompson, and the senior finishes off his Iowa career with a national title in front of his hometown fans on his hometown mat. You couldn't ask for more of a college athlete. He is winded, but he's not too tired to talk to Jeff Blatnick.
It was a very difficult match, Eric. I want to ask you, what was your thoughts going in, and did you follow your game plan?
Just keep attacking the whole time. You know, that's what the coach told me to do, and that's what I was going to do. You know, if we're going to go down, we're going to go shooting.
What do you think was the breaking point in that match? You had that tough sequence at the end. He was in on your leg. How did you counter?
You know, it's one of those things where, you know, you can either give up or you can gut it out. And, you know, our coaches, that's what they've trained us for all the time, gut it out. So I just, you know, I was going to do everything to stop it. That's what I did, tried to stop it.
Well, we want to congratulate you. It was a great performance, defending champion, and you repeated.
Thanks.
All right, we have more to come from Carver Hawkeye Arena. The NCAA champions continue at 141, Schwab and Leitner.
We were there when you were struck.
I'm so sorry.
With the adventure of driving. The joys of marriage. The pride of home ownership. So now that you've discovered the rewards of a growing young family, and you need more life insurance coverage than you can get through work, there's still no one better to talk to than the State Farm agent you've always trusted to care for your car, your home, and you. State Farm is there for life.
Okay, who are you?
The milkman?
Do you have a sidekick?
No.
A nemesis?
A what?
A bad guy?
I'm a people person.
Have you been fighting crime long?
I don't fight crime.
What do you fight?
Osteoporosis. A never-ending supply of milk. And chocolate milk.
Calcium may help prevent osteoporosis.
Back in Iowa, Doug Schwab of Iowa with a 34-0 record, matching up against 34-0 Michael Leitner from Oklahoma, two seniors. Period number 2 with a score 4-3. Michael Leitner on top of Doug Schwab. Leitner with no national titles. Schwab with a title in 1999. Now it's 5-3 with the escape point. Leitner in the lead.
These two like to be takedown artists. They're both good on the bottom, great hand control, can get out, so they realize the battle's really got to be won in the standing position.
Move your feet!
Leitner seeming to be moving forward on the Iowa wrestler. Nice single. Super quick. Caught him flat-footed. And good attempt at counter here by Schwab. He might be able to do it, but Leitner staying right with him. Look at this.
Can he hang on?
Oh, beautiful.
Doug Schwab with textbook counters.
Now that's wrestling. Attack, counter, attack, counter. Crowd showing their appreciation for that.
Well, Leitner just hung on as long as he could. They finally went out just as Schwab was getting out of the grip.
Seems that Schwab's having trouble penetrating on Leitner. He's not being able to get close enough to really get a good hold on a leg.
How about it? Let's take a look at that. That was just an amazing series.
That sequence where Schwab took the shot, Leitner countered, back and forth they went, and eventually no points on the board, but great action.
Back live. Second period. Leitner on top of Schwab. 5-3. Oklahoma on the right of your screen in the maroon.
Now, time's winding down here in the second period. Leitner still with that 2-point lead. In again on a wonderful single. This one, he's in good position to score. He's got to beat the
Final
clock,
seconds,
though.
though. Well, the man behind the referee is telling him how much time, and it doesn't happen. So we end it 5-3. So as we begin the third period at 141, Michael Leitner with a 5-3 lead on Doug Schwab. Two seniors battling it out in their final collegiate career. Leitner on top in the maroon of Oklahoma. And you have to assume that Schwab's going to get away here, and he does. He pulls a point closer, 5-4. First point of the third period.
Hey, you mentioned they're seniors, Ron. They're also 34-0 apiece. So everything on the line here for these two, and that's the way a national championship should be. 1 versus 2, undefeated record. Leitner in again, Lon, on a single leg. This is his M.O.
But he has not had success with that so far. And if you can take away his strength, and that single seems to be his strength, then he's not going to score the point.
Converse of that, too, is Leitner's forcing Schwab to be defensive the whole time. Thus, he has no time to get his offense going, and he trails.
Got a headbutt. I think he took it in the nose. Leitner did, or maybe on the bridge, just stunned him a bit. And that is going to happen when you have two aggressive wrestlers out there. But that really shook up Michael Leitner. Jack Spates, the head coach of the Oklahoma Sooners, making sure protocol is followed, and this wrestler gets all the time that he needs. And a little last-minute advice as well. Why not?
There's 1.5 minutes for non-bleeding injury time. And that was the one timeout. If he does a second, opponent gets the choice.
A minute 24 to go in the third period. Leitner on top of Schwab, 5-4. In this championship at 141 pounds. And it is going to be Schwab who is going to be forced to go for the takedown. And I don't think he's going to be shy about it. Leitner has been stiff so far on defense. Schwab is about going to be crafty to get under there. He got the single.
He does, but it's good position for Leitner as well. Schwab needs to elevate. Needs to lift that leg in the air. There he goes.
Leitner looking for his first national championship as an Oklahoma Sooner. This could be the crux of the whole match right here. Got the stalemate from Mike McCormick. And a happy St. Patrick's Day to Mike McCormick, we might say, as well.
You bet.
Woo! Are the nerves starting to fray? Well, those are Sooner teammates of Leitner. And yes, they do start to get cold sweats about this time. And a stall call against Leitner. And if it happens again, this match could be tied up.
Lots of time, 27 seconds.
Leitner goes down low first.
But he's backing up. He's playing defense. Schwab now needs a good shot.
Well, Leitner still. Now there's a little offensive action for Leitner. I think the referees may give him that. 10 seconds to go. The crowd is behind Doug Schwab, and they go out of bounds with 6 seconds. Michael Leitner, 5 seconds from a title that has eluded him in his 4 years as a Sooner, and that is it. Jack Spates recruited this man because he knew it could be a national title holder, and he got it tonight in Iowa. So Michael Leitner of Oklahoma takes another title away from Iowa. Congratulations to the Sooner program. Back with more from University of Iowa in a moment.
Live the flavor. Jolly Rancher watermelon.
I hit the ball as far today as 20 years ago. Equipment is better for one thing, like Advil instead of Tylenol. Do Advil, and I'm good.
Stronger than pain. Advil works fast on aches and pains. Advanced medicine for pain.
All right, boys, last card.
I'm gonna raise you $1.
You must have something, boys.
Just $1. Hey, don't you know about 10-10-220? What?
Yeah, man, 10-10-220. All calls up to 20 minutes. 99 cents. Just 7 cents a minute after that.
All calls up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents?
See, $1 is worth a lot. I'm out.
Me too. I call you.
Do you have any 5s?
Go fish.
Dial 10-10-220.
Time now for our matchup at 149. Adam Tirapelli, the senior and number 3 seed and defending champ, 32-3, taking on Dave Esposito of Lehigh, also a senior and 4th seed, 32-3. Lehigh on the bottom of this scrum right now in the brown. And Adam Tirapelli, the defending NCAA champ at 149, trying to control on top in the blue singlet. 2-0, Tirapelli leads as we start the second period of action. Lon McCarron along with Jeff Blatnick coming to you from the Carver Hawkeye Arena on the University of Iowa campus. An escape point for Esposito. It's 2-1 Tirapelli.
Tirapelli also was warned for stalling in the first period. That could come into play. Esposito really hasn't even had a very good offensive threat as of yet.
This 3 and 4 seed matchup comes because one reason we talked about Reggie Wright of Oklahoma State. This was his weight category, but beaten by unseeded Mike Zadek on the first day of action here.
And And then Lawrence of Minnesota lost. Tirapelli beat him in the semifinals. And they've traded victories against one another. Very difficult over 40 matches to go undefeated. Some of our wrestlers have done so, but it is very difficult, particularly when you know each other so well and you've wrestled each other so many times.
30 seconds to go in this second period.
And this is not an offensive display. It's a great defensive display. The person who's making the mistake will probably lose this match. Tirapelli in the driver's seat with a 2-1 lead.
So far, Dave Esposito has really been frustrating Adam Tirapelli. They're out of bounds. Keith Pullman will bring them forward. It's not going to happen. And it's 2-1 at the end of the second.
March is National Agriculture Month. Cable West Advertising and the following businesses want to salute all the area ag producers and say thanks for all your hard work. March is National Agriculture Month. Thanks for all your hard work.
Ending the third period at 149 pounds, Adam Tirapelli on the bottom for Illinois, taking on Dave Esposito, and Tirapelli with a 2-1 lead. Tirapelli won this title last year. And it's a 3-1 Illinois lead after that escape by Tirapelli.
There's that knee tap again by Tirapelli, but look, Esposito's opening up now.
Yeah, he brought that leg in to try to trip Tirapelli backwards. And they want a stall call, does Lehigh and Greg Strobel on Tirapelli.
The difference between pushing a man out of bounds and attacking him out of bounds is what will cause a stall call. There it is.
Yep, stall call, and a point for Esposito on the stall. So it's 3-2. Adam Tirapelli, a slim margin on Dave Esposito. And now Esposito getting control.
Tirapelli's going to hang on to the ankle. Esposito's going to try to free that leg. They're going to go to a stalemate.
As soon as he let go and went for the leg, it was a stall call by Keith Pullman. Now under a minute to go in this match at 149 pounds. Esposito in the brown needs control if he wants to win.
Good sequence there. Attack, counter, counterattack. Tirapelli now in control of the ankle. Could put this match away with a takedown. And he's going to do it right there.
There he gets control. The 2 points called by Keith Pullman for Adam Tirapelli. Dave Esposito tried desperately to get after that hole, and he did have to throw a little caution to the wind to try to get out of that move, and that created the opening for Tirapelli.
Oh, with so little time now, we're down to 20 seconds. Esposito's got to force the action. He did there, and it cost him the takedown, but he needs an escape. Perhaps now, 5-3 the score. He could get a chance. Surprised Tirapelli didn't try to hang him for 4 more seconds. He would have got riding time.
He did not know about that riding time. 2 seconds to go. Adam Tirapelli defends his NCAA championship at 149 pounds. This Fighting Illini and number 3 seed says, I'm not number 3, I am number 1. Here's how he did it.
Got the single leg up on Esposito. Esposito desperate to counter because of the time constraint. Tries the counter, but Tirapelli was waiting for him, seizes the other ankle. gets that winning takedown, puts the match away.
5-3 is the final score as he is into the arms of his coach. A typical scene, but still moving nonetheless at the NCAA championships, back with 1:57 after this.
Who is it? Inspector Collect. Open the door.
The music's too loud.
I ain't here about no music. I'm here to teach you about calling Collect.
What's wrong with dialing 0?
Use 1-800-COLLECT. It saves the people you call at least $1 or $2. Why you writing that down? 1-800, then collect. I pity the fool who don't remember that.
That's so easy.
I like it here. Is this thing a pull out? Use your head. Now 1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
A chunky Super Bowl moment. Terrell Davis's mom filled him up right with new Campbell's Chunky Grilled Sirloin and Vegetables. Fired up by this chunky grilled classic, Terrell made like grilled steak and sizzled.
6 friends made a bet to see who could stay single the longest. Then, Natalie came along.
Let's swap some bodily fluids, baby. This girl is Wonder Woman.
On March 30th. Oh, no, I hate sushi. Brace yourself
You're a fun date, aren't you?
for the most outrageous comedy of the year.
Sorry!
Tomcats, rated R. Opens everywhere March 30th.
The stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut is just $9.99. And now, for just $1 more, add on 5 breadsticks, or a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi, or even 5 buffalo wings. So wing it up, stick it up, drink it up, or wing it up, stick it up, stick it up. Just buck it up. Only $1 each. But you better hurry it up before time is up.
There is a start. There is a finish. And in the journey between, there are dreams. The NCAA Hall of Champions keeps these dreams alive for you. More than a museum, the NCAA Hall of Champions takes you on an interactive journey. Relive some of the most inspirational moments in collegiate sports history and walk in the steps of a student athlete. At the NCAA Hall of Champions, you'll find something for every fan. Discover what it means to be a champion. The journey begins inside.
Welcome back to the 2001 NCAA Wrestling Division I Wrestling Championships. Iowa, well, they hosted it. They didn't win it. They have hosted it 3 other times and won it 3 other times, but Minnesota has come through 138.5 points on the team total. Iowa has one more man to get to the mat, and it is T.J. Williams, the #1 seed, taking on Brian Snyder of Nebraska, the #2 seed and Big 12 champ, 28 wins apiece. T.J. Williams on the right of your screen in the black, and Brian Snyder in the red of Nebraska. T.J. Williams upset last year as the #1 seed. It has not happened so far.
These two have no head-to-head matchups this year. And Williams says the loss last year is a motivating force right now for him to perform well.
Another Iowa senior wrestling his final match as a Hawkeye in front of his home crowd.
Iowa had that fearsome foursome, and they were hoping that would be enough to ride on their backs to a team championship. But this year, team balance is what it was all about. Minnesota with 10 All-Americans. History being made there.
But Iowa came into this final with a chance still.
With a chance, but it was that consolation round this morning that put this tournament out of reach.
So far, Williams trying to figure out Brian Snyder. Snyder's a junior. He was the Big 12 champ. TJ, Big 10 champ. It's fitting that they meet here in the national championships. The two strongest wrestling conferences in the nation.
Snyder has been 4th and 5th in this tournament before. And as you said, Williams was upset. He was 3rd. There's Joe Williams.
Brother of TJ and also former NCAA champ. I guess you're always an NCAA champ.
He was multi-NCAA champ. Joe's good.
Well, he watched his brother almost get taken down by Brian Snyder, but they're out of bounds with 1:13 to go. So a wake-up call for T.J. Williams.
Snyder, coached by Mark Manning.
A quick look at him.
Zaleski in the Iowa corner. Former athlete. Two good coaches. Manning was a contemporary, went to a Division II school before moving on to Oklahoma, then the head coach at UNI, and then this year at Nebraska. Look for Nebraska to bring its program back up into the top 3 as well. Manning's a good coach.
TJ not willing to put it out on the line just yet.
He won his semifinal match with a takedown in the last 2 seconds. Key here is no mistakes.
The key for Snyder might be just to annoy TJ enough to work him into a mistake.
That's part of competition. You can do it with skill, and you can do it making it a battle of wills.
You see that, the slapping of the head.
Keep your face going. Speed moving.
Setups, when I use the word setups, it's just simply making your opponent think what you're not going to do, forcing him into a reaction that you can anticipate.
TJ tried to go low, but could not. Final seconds of the first period, and we come to the end in a scoreless tie.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Do you have an innie or an outie?
Innie all the way, dude.
I have an innie. I got one. Okay, this is really nasty, though. Okay. Would you guys rather eat like a maggot-filled pie or go to school completely naked?
Naked. Hey, you know what would be funny? I don't want to. If someone, like, pierced their outie.
Sports drinks. Not cutting it, okay?
What do you bench?
350. Gallons?
By the way, your body called. Yeah, looking for some vitamin D and A.
Come on!
Hey, on a quarter.
Can I get a spot here?
Yeah. What are you drinking?
Sports drink.
Sports drink. Later, sunshine.
Well, you just hit the stop button. They got a stop button, or you just stop walking, or you got them. How?
Want to play? Milk has 9 essential nutrients active bodies need.
I'm all right. I'm up.
Ready to begin the third period at 157 pounds. Brian Snyder with a 1-0 lead on TJ Williams. Just an escape point for the Nebraska wrestler. But as soon as I say that, TJ comes up with a takedown to begin the third, and he now leads 2-1.
And I think Snyder got a little lackadaisical as TJ Williams stood up. There's Joe Williams with concern. He's going to cut him loose. He looked to the corner to cut him loose. But Snyder started to let TJ Williams stand up, and Williams turned into him quickly, and I don't think Snyder was prepared for it. Williams able to take that switch, turn it into a leg attack, and got in. And there's an escape now for Snyder. We're locked 2-2.
Snyder in red of Nebraska. TJ Williams in the black of the Iowa Hawkeyes. A minute and 23 seconds to go in the final period, barring overtime. Two conference champions battling it out here to the final minute of their college careers. For TJ, I should say. Brian Snyder will be back.
Both wrestlers seem to have problems in the standing position, clearing each other's arms. Never get a clean shot. Mark Manning right there of Nebraska, head coach, first year. Boy, would he love to have a national champion in his first year in Nebraska.
Set off on the recruiting road with a skip and a step.
Also puts you in good light with the AD. And here they're binding hard, but neither one of them really taking a risk.
Now the referee, Ken Mara, hit them both with a stall warning in the second period when they were head-to-head. So that could come into play if one of these wrestlers backs up too much. Almost like a Greco hold.
Well, it's not so much a Greco hold. It's just they're binding, and they're not really changing, sidestepping, creating angles. They're just pushing back and forth and feeding off of that. Now, this will be interesting. We'll go to the overtime.
Well, now TJ won in an earlier round in the final seconds. He's got under 10 seconds to go, but it's Snyder who takes the shot.
He's got the out of bounds.
Yep.
Yeah, he knew where he was on the mat. We call mat position. And if this goes now into the overtime, There has been a rule change here. It's no longer 2 minutes. It's down to 1 minute.
Joe Williams looks on a bit nervously at his brother Jim Zaleski of Iowa, looking for a second national titleist. 2 of them have lost. 1 has come away victorious. And now T.J. Williams. 1 minute for these 2 men.
The other rule change this year is if this period no one scores and it remains 2-2, they go to the tiebreaker. There will be no coin toss. The rule change this year is the first person to score an offensive move, other than an escape, will have his choice if it comes down to a tiebreaker. That favors T.J. Williams.
T.J. has the takedown in the 3rd period. Snyder's 2 points have come on 2 escapes, and the Williams family is sweating it out big time. Every time Snyder takes a step forward, you know they're going to cringe. 20 seconds to go. In overtime.
Whoa.
And no, Snyder had an opening. Did he get it? Not out of bounds again.
That was close. Williams relaxed out there, and Snyder went after him. But there's a reason Snyder's going after him. He knows he's probably going to be on top in the tiebreaker. And we've seen the majority of the tiebreakers, the vast majority, are won by the bottom man being able to escape. Williams will have that choice. That's why he's not being overly aggressive. Snyder knows he's got a tough road to hoe here. In order to win this match, he's got to ride Williams 30 seconds.
He's saying, go down, son. You can get out. So now what happens is 30 seconds. 1 man down, 1 man up. If you can hold him for 30 seconds, you win. If the bottom man escapes, he wins. T.J. Williams on the bottom. They say that's the easier position.
The crowd's on their feet as well.
Here
Williams turns the face. That's it. That's it right there. Joe
Williams looks on as his brother wins a national title for the 2nd time. T.J. Williams closing out his career as a Hawkeye, as a national champion. Once again, a game effort by Brian Snyder. Congratulations to him on this wonderful tournament. But a nice way to say so long to one of Iowa's finest. Back to the University of Iowa in just a moment. Pritzloff and Heskett. It's a rematch of last year's national championship battle.
We got to target a new online customer. Consumers who never change their minds and choose gifts with 100% accuracy.
So there's no returns.
Bingo. I call them laser beamers.
And exactly how many of these laser beamers have you found?
4. But that's just in the U.S.
E-returns are inevitable. Now UPS has automated the process, making it quicker and easier, so we can help change merchandise as fast as people change their minds. UPS, moving at the speed of business.
Why? It is a small word, but it is a quick, sharp, and abrupt word.
Why?
It is the chosen word of the nonconformist, the defiant, and the visionary. It is a confrontational word.
Why?
It challenges what's thought to be impossible. If you are not afraid to ask why, you can change whatever it is you want.
It's been a long time coming. But I'm leaving you in good hands. Sarah?
Thanks, Dad.
Taking care of business. In business, you can count on things to change. That's why millions of companies count on Office Depot to help them take care of business. Taking care of business.
Some people you could always count on to be there for you. We were there when you fixed up your first car. And when you fixed up your first apartment. We were even there when you finally got fixed up yourself. So now that you're fixing more bottles than old cars, there's no one better to talk to about your changing life insurance needs than the State Farm agent you've always trusted to care for your car, your home, and you. State Farm is there for you because State Farm is there for life.
Ready for the championship at 165. It'll be the defending champion, Donnie Pritzloff of Wisconsin, the senior, 37-1, taking on Joe Heskett, the junior, and number 2 seed for Iowa State Cyclones. 36-3. This is a rematch of last year's finals at 165. We begin second period of action. No score so far. And it is Heskett on top in the Cyclone red and the red and black of the Wisconsin Badgers of Donnie Pritzloff. The only loss for Pritzloff came to Heskett back in November of this year. Bobby Douglas looking on, head coach of the Iowa State Cyclones.
That's kind of ironic. They took a 4-2 sudden victory in overtime for Pritzloff to win the national championship, and Heskett comes right back and beats him in one of the first matches the following year. But they know each other very well. It's be a conservative style so far. This is where Heskett is fairly good, is on top.
They have control. He's got to get that leg out of the grasp of Heskett. No, he just wants to get away.
Heskett will hang on to the single, look for him to maneuver towards the edge or to stalemate this. And he's moving to the edge.
Yep. We saw him do that in the final of last year, too. A little scoot action. And now they're going to give a point for stall. Is that a stall call?
No, that was a 1 point for, should have been an escape. They're in a standing position. So it's a stall call, he'd be down.
So Pritzloff with 1 point here. It was not readily apparent whether he did escape, but Heskett did lose control. It was determined by Pat Fitzgerald. Another one of our Irish referees here on St. Paddy's Day.
Heskett has previous finishes of 3rd and 2nd. Pritzloff 6th, 5th, and then a champion last year, looking to repeat this year. Bobby Douglas, head coach of Iowa State. Good shot of him, formerly from Arizona State. The only coach until Minnesota to have beaten one of the Iowa or Oklahoma schools for the national championship when he did it at Arizona State.
And he did it with balance, just like Minnesota did this year.
Very much so. 10 All-Americans by Minnesota. First time in history. Your entire team is in the top 8. That is a great statement. Even though they don't have a finalist, that is a great statement about the balance of that team.
I think they have 8 returning, is that right?
And they have 8 people returning next year, so look for them to be up there on the leaderboard to start the next year. Barry Davis of Wisconsin, head coach. Terry Steiner is assistant, both former Hawkeye national champions.
24 seconds now left in the second period. Donnie Pritzloff leads 1-0 on an escape point from Joe Heskett. The loss to Pritzloff burns every day in Joe Heskett's gut. It's what drives him to the room to practice, what drives him in every matchup. 6 seconds to go. Douglas looks concerned. Bobby Douglas looks concerned when he's buying a hamburger, though.
Heskett really hasn't had a great tournament. He nearly lost in one of the early rounds. It went to the tiebreaker, and he won it there. And literally, the kid cut him loose with 6 seconds left in the period to give him a point. And if he didn't do that, that point might have been margin of victory in regulation time. So Heskett has been on the edge this whole tournament, but seemed to have gotten going into the semifinals, won his semifinal round, and when you're in the finals, it's a whole new ball game. You throw everything else out. It's just the one match that counts.
Pritzloff trying to work away the riding time that Heskett held, but you have to think he's going to cut him loose sooner or later.
There it is.
And he does. We're tied at 1. Not unlike last year's matchup.
Neither one of these two have want to make a mistake. They want to force the other into a mistake, a bad shot or perhaps a bad situation or a moment of complacency. But as far as offense goes, we haven't seen too much of it here. Solid defense by both athletes.
There's another Iowa State wrestler on the bill tonight who is anything but complacent, Cale Sanderson, who scores points like their basketball team did. And I'm sorry to say did.
Marvelous athlete, undefeated in his college career. We'll look forward to seeing him.
Heskett taking off his headgear just for a moment. A minute 5 left. We are tied at 1. National title on the line. Every second that ticks down, you know the pressure is going to increase incrementally.
Heskett just binding with Pritzloff, not giving any room to really maneuver with.
I can see Pritzloff, just for the fact that he's a senior, he's going to take some more chances.
Bobby Douglas is screaming for Heskett to take some chance. Pritzloff, perhaps, but now's not the time. It's only 40 seconds left in the third. You still have a minute of overtime. Try to win in sudden victory. So you don't necessarily have to lay it on the line yet.
Pritzloff has taken a bump on the lip, bleeding just a little bit. The referee, Pat Fitzgerald, sees it as not a problem. Yep, now he does.
They'll wipe it.
So we'll take a quick break here. And that'll give Heskett a chance also with 28 seconds to go in the third period. Now Pritzloff is quickly back. Taking a little extra time is Joe Heskett. There he goes. He got it.
Single.
Can he
Great
finish
single,
it?
no.
Yeah. Maybe Pritzloff thinking, sensing Heskett's a little bit tired. Went for that.
It was a great shot. He was in quickly. He had time to finish it. Perhaps he rushed it a little bit. But you got to credit Joe Heskett. He didn't panic. Great counter. Lots of weight on that leg.
Going to go out of bounds before it's over. Yeah, 2 seconds to go now in the third period. We are tied at 1 for the 165-pound championship.
And they will toss the coin now. They're both escaped, so they use the coin. Heskett will have his choice. This puts pressure on Pritzloff, knowing that he'll probably be in the top position in the tiebreaker. Look for him to pick up action now to go for a takedown.
But before that coin toss comes into play, we will go 1 minute and to see if either one of these men can score. Pritzloff never giving up, waiting for that whistle. Heskett a little more anxious maybe to stop the action.
He's got to capitalize on these opportunities. He's in tight. He needs to score here. He does not want to let him go near the out of bounds, but he's really picked up his pace now.
Absolutely. Just as you said, Jeff Blatnick, Pritzloff feeling, because he lost the coin toss, that he's going to be the man up. Has to get the points now.
And he's had 3 opportunities at single legs, and he's not capitalized on any of them. And that's like getting in the red zone and not scoring. You need.
He's got
he might
2.
Get that.
He's got 2.
There it is.
Call.
That should do it. That should be 2 right there. I don't know why.
There it is. There it is. You're right. In overtime. Just like last year, in overtime. Donnie Pritzloff with the takedown on Joe Heskett. And Pritzloff repeats as the champion at 165.
Pritzloff knew the pressure was on him. Losing the coin toss meant he would be on top in the tiebreaker, and winning on top in the tiebreaker is almost non-existent. He got a good leg shot in on Heskett, took the hits, kept his feet in bounds, and earned sudden victory with that takedown.
Donnie Pritzloff for the Wisconsin Badgers comes through with another national title. Congratulations to him and that program. Coming up, 174 pounds from Iowa.
When you need to be healed, know that we're here. When you need to be mended, know that we can. When you need complete quality health care, know that we're close to home. Good Samaritan Health Systems, Kearney, Nebraska. Quality care, close to home.
Are you interested in a job with one of Nebraska's largest regional internet service providers? Internet USA is currently looking for a full-time service technician.
Focusing on the discipline, confidence, and dedication involved in sports, student athletes can apply fundamentals both on and off the field. When it comes to playing with a purpose, just say yes.
We are ready for the championship match at 174 pounds. It's going to be Josh Koscheck of the Edinburgh Fighting Scots, the junior and number 1 seed with a mark of 41-0, taking on Maurice Worthy of Army, the number 3 seed. The senior is 34-0. Action now as we begin period number 3. Josh Koscheck with a 5-1 lead on Maurice Worthy. 4 first-period points for Koscheck has put him in control of this match, and he really has been in control the whole way, Jeff.
Yes, he has. Not only did he take him down, he rode him a bunch, too. He's got a minute 39, over a minute 40 now of riding time as he continues to add to that total. That's an additional point in the bank come the end of the match. And when you ride somebody like this, it's frustrating. You're carrying extra body weight. It's fatiguing. But most of all, you can't get your offense going. You're stuck on the bottom.
Was that a stall call, referee?
That was a stall call against Koscheck because the rule on top isn't just ride, it's to work for a pinning combination. So those that hang back on the ankles or stay parallel behind your opponent, they're going to look at you differently than if you come out to the side and are perpendicular to your opponent trying to work.
Well, now turnaround is that they gave a stall call to Worthy and a point to Koscheck. So it's 6-1 on the scoreboard, but with riding time guaranteed now, and it's a 7-1 lead. And Maurice Worthy looks overwhelmed. Tim Flynn just wants to see Koscheck work hard here in the final minute.
Well, you hate to see a stall call in the finals, especially when you put up some points on the board, but it happened. Flynn wants to make sure Koscheck doesn't become complacent here in the last minute of the match. Lou Roselli, the assistant coach in Edinburgh, 96 Olympian.
Well, Koscheck, a junior, we will see next year, likely to be the national champion here. He was the runner-up last year, so definitely looking to be the favorite at 174 for the 2002 season.
And Worthy making a bit of history here for Army. They haven't had a finalist since 1986, haven't had an All-American since 87, and the last time they had a national champion, and Worthy has a tough road to hoe to get to that point here, trailing 6-1, was 1962.
Another point to go to Koscheck, as Worthy has all but stopped his forward momentum, just trying to avoid the turn by Koscheck in the final 5 seconds of this match at 174, and they're going to stop it there. Just seconds to go, a potentially dangerous hold there. So they do stop it when joints start going in odd angles.
With 2 seconds left, this match is over. Koscheck is going to win.
So that's going to be it. That's official. Josh Koscheck has returned to center stage. No longer a runner-up. He is the national champion at 174 pounds with a final score of 8-1 over Maurice Worthy. Edinburgh always seems to find the cream of the crop and the wrestlers that go to that school. We will come back, and when we do, you will see the best wrestler in college, maybe the world, at 184, Cale Sanderson. And Dan Gable will join us.
Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
1-800-COLLECT presents Ava Save-A-Lot.
Need to make a call?
Yeah, and I don't carry change.
Ever hear of 1-800-COLLECT?
Are you kidding?
So you know it saves at least $1 or $2.
Yeah, and it's easy. How long you been riding?
It's my first time.
1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
This is hip, baby. So hip, baby. All messed around and fell in love.
Jack Daniel's Grill, only on Fridays.
Welcome back to the University of Iowa. Cale Sanderson now ready to go at 184 pounds in the championship match once again for this junior, the number 1 seed. 39-0 on the year. He'll be taking on Oklahoma State's Daniel Cormier, a senior and number 3 seed, coming your way from the Big 12. This is the featured matchup of the night. Cale Sanderson's talents were discovered at an early age, groomed by his father and challenged by his brothers. Cale won every title possible from the age of 9. Amazingly, some think his conquests have only just begun.
Wrestling has been kind of a family situation, and this is just it was always kind of a way to spend time together and be with one another and do something that we liked.
I think I can take a little credit for making him tough. I used to slap him around all the time.
I kind of had to figure out ways to compete with them and survive. We were actually close to the same size from the time he was about 6 or 7 years old. I was kind of small and he was always kind of big for his size. And so we spent a lot of time wrestling, and I think the thing that we've been able to do more for Cale than just be a workout partner is kind of help show him some of the things that he needed to do to be successful, as far as working hard and working with the right attitude and working for the right goals.
His work ethic and his training habits, his focus, those are some of the things that stand out when I think about Cale Sanderson. He's a one of a kind.
I just try and relax and keep my head clear. I mean, I try and figure out what I'm going to do and you know, how I'm going to approach the match. I'm not going to get tired worrying about, you know, what's going to happen, and I just basically go out and go as hard as I can.
And what's most impressive about Sanderson, he just seems to move freely around his opponent. Great motion, tremendous balance, and just always moving forward. He constantly attacks.
He is a real scoring machine. He has a lot of movement about him, and a real sense for wrestling, and a real passion for the sport.
An amazing performance by Cale Sanderson, repeating as national titleist.
I think Cale has and has always had kind of an extra sense about the sport. There's just something there. He seems to have an understanding and a feel for everything that's going on, and it's just kind of, not only has he been more successful than Cole and I, but I mean, to this point, he's been as successful as any other college wrestler in history.
Earlier this season, Cale left his mark on history when he surpassed the legendary Dan Gable's collegiate record of 100 wins without a loss, leaving many to speculate if Cale could be the best collegiate wrestler of all time.
Until his career is out, we won't be able to say he is the greatest, but he certainly will rank among the greatest. And if he keeps going at the rate he's going, it could be real scary at the end.
And there he is, poised for his 3rd straight national title, 118-0, his career mark. Iowa State's Cale Sanderson. Sanderson, of course, the number 1 seed, 39-0 on this current season, and he'll be taking on Daniel Cormier of the Oklahoma State Cowboys, the number 3 seed and senior. Also, Cormier, one of the best that Sanderson will face all year long. Sanderson on the left of your screen now. In the orange uniform will be Cormier for the Cowboys. It always seems strange, Jeff, when you don't see a lot of Oklahoma State Cowboys in the finals.
There's been 3 of them here today. I mean, they've got some representation, but not enough to put themselves up at the top of the leaderboard. But in that feature that all of you fans just had an opportunity to see, they question whether he's the best. Well, I'm sitting next to the best. His name's Dan Gable. And I would love to hear what Dan has to say. You know, we'll look forward at the start of the 2nd period to talk with Dan and hear his thoughts about Cale Sanderson. Of course, Gable, an Iowa State University Cyclone in his collegiate days.
Cale Sanderson loves to score points. And certainly Daniel Cormier knows that. Cormier, really a daunting task going against the man of the hour in college wrestling so far. And a lot of times when you get an athlete like Sanderson so dominating, it's very difficult for anybody to come and face him. Now Sanderson down low has the leg. Sanderson now has both legs in the first 2 points of the match scored by Cale Sanderson.
Now, Cormier's met him 3 times this year. He got majored, but then the last 2 have been decisions. So he's starting to understand how Sanderson wrestles. And Cormier's a great athlete. But he said when he faced Sanderson before, he was being cautious, didn't want to make mistakes. He didn't go after him using his own style of offense. And wrestling's about your style. And if you can put your style and impose it on your opponent, generally the results are good. But Sanderson, boy, I'll tell you, great motion. What impresses me about him is he just moves around his opponent. Even though the opponent's trying to stop him, he does it so effortlessly. He's like water traveling to the path of least resistance.
Sanderson now building up the riding time. He's got half a minute on Cormier.
He's got the far elbow, too. He's got a lot of leverage on Cormier here. He can keep him in bounds. And look at him. He even risks going across his own back to keep him in bounds. The man with confidence.
Cormier back up and out of bounds. And Fred Ambrose, the referee here at 184, puts him back to center. John Smith, head coach of Oklahoma State. No stranger to the big mat here in the middle. 2-0. Iowa State's Cale Sanderson on top. Working for his 1 minute of riding time, 10 seconds away from that. Appears all but assured of gaining a little bit of cushion with the riding time. Cormier seems he's got no way out right now. Sanderson, as you said, Jeff, has to keep working to keep that riding time clock running.
Well, I think he was going to cut him loose as soon as he got his minute built up, and that's what he did. Look for him now in 30 seconds to try to get another takedown, and Cale will go after the takedown.
Under 30 seconds to go. It's a 2-1 lead now for Cale Sanderson.
He's so good at holding the head and reaching for the leg, and once he gets it, it's tough, and he does it again.
So quick.
I don't know if you call that an ankle pick or a sort of modified single where he's holding the head just to make sure he gets to it without the man being able to sprawl.
So 9 seconds to go in the opening 3-minute period in a championship match at 184. Bobby Douglas, Iowa State Cyclones. He'll take full credit for all Cale Sanderson has brought to the mat, right?
His dad deserves a lot of it. The Wasatch program kicked butt in Utah.
Closing seconds of the first period. It's a 4-1 Sanderson lead. We'll be back with period number 2 and Dan Gable right after this.
Coming in April, the ESPN Action Sports and Music Awards, fueled by Mountain Dew. Join host Rebecca Romaine Stamos, LL Cool J, and Chris Klein. Plus, the first ever live TV performance by the original members of Black Sabbath. One stage, one night. The athletes of action sports and the music that fuels them. Special appearances by Tony Hawk, Gabrielle Reese, and Tom Green. Music performances by Black Sabbath, Ben Harper, De La Soul, Busta Rhymes. The ESPN Action Sports and Music Awards, fueled by Mountain Dew. April 10th on ESPN.
Release the controls.
Do it, Abe.
Get out.
We gotta get one of those.
I told you not to let him drive.
The NASCAR Craftsman trucks roar into Cali as the top drivers take on the oval at the Mesa Marin Raceway.
You got him, Troy.
The Orchard Supply Hardware 250, tonight at 8 on ESPN2.
Welcome back to the NCAA Division I Wrestling Championships, joined by Dan Gable. Dan, thanks for joining us. Very interesting to watch this man go into your alma mater.
Well, this is the, I've kind of lost my voice a little bit.
I don't blame you.
I'm mostly in the stands, but this is the one young man that's probably got some talent that could really go with him if his mind's there. And I can see already that because he's lost that first period, he's just a little bit behind in his reactions. And obviously it's but Sanderson that's forcing that action. But if there was one thing that Coach Smith wanted to do was to get this young man ready for one match with Sanderson this year, and this is the match right here. So You know, he's got that opportunity, but he still hasn't been able to capitalize on it just because Sanderson's been on him. And you talked about that single leg or that ankle pick. It's a combination, you're right. It's a kind of a new scoring theory that the real good ones are really using right now. The Brands brothers do this a lot. All you do is have to touch a guy's leg, and you go with their body movement, and then you tackle the other ankle. So all you have to do is touch them about at the knee, and you just carry on in. It's not you're not penetrating yourself. They're penetrating you because you're going with them. So he does this very well, and you end up at the ankle and knee, so there's no defense, and you get a lot of scoring on the edge of the mat. And he does this very well. And because of this, his scoring opportunities are at all times there. Now, Cormier is the guy that Coach Smith thought could go with him, but right now he's down 5-1. And obviously, if it's a mind game, he's in a bad situation right now.
Yeah, I think he's going to be playing it a little bit cautious, and right now he is. I would think he would try to turn up the offense a little bit. And if you don't, that's sort of respecting Sanderson too much.
Well, you know, it's like you want to do something yourself, but all you're doing is fighting him. And so basically, you're just depending on counters to win, and that's not going to happen when the guy's got an ankle and a knee.
Well, I have to ask you, in the feature about Cael Sanderson, they talked about, is he the best collegiate wrestler ever? Certainly you, with the string of victories you put together, 2 national championships, a disappointing loss as a senior. What's your opinion of Cael in history?
I have a tremendous feel for him right now because he just doesn't let up. Right there, he was, you know, the guy stopped him once or twice, and it was the 3rd time that got him. But, you know, he's on track to be the best. You know, that's just the bottom line. You know, there's some things that I did with pins and those type of things, but he likes to do more technical falls and a lot more scoring, whereas I was more of a controlled wrestler. But in his, you know, not to put too much pressure or give him too much credit yet, just from the standpoint that, you know, he wants to go beyond college. So, you know, he's going to have to go on and do some things after that at the international level, World Championships, Olympic Games, and before he's going to be satisfied and feel like he's the best wrestler. But, yeah, if he goes undefeated this year and next year, you know, I think he's got that title.
Well, 4 national titles, that would certainly, only one other person's ever done that, Pat Smith. Is there a Larry Owens lurking out there? Well, Owens being, of course, I got to preface that, Owens defeated you your senior year.
Usually if there's one out there, he don't want you to know it, because then you start preparing for him too. See, I didn't know Owens was there until the tournament started, so he did a good job of masking it. And once he came there, he was pretty much prepared for me, and I was getting involved in a lot of the things that was going on in the tourney, and I wasn't focused as much as he did. So you're always vulnerable. So if there's a Larry Owens out there, you know, he better not tip it off to Sanderson.
One point I had also, Coach, is that he's been so dominating at 84 that you're not going to put your horses, being the other coaches maybe, into that 84 category. You're going to put them up in weight or bring them down in weight. Are you going to avoid a guy like Cael Sanderson as a head coach?
Well, I tell you what, the referee called Sanderson for stalling, and he called Cormier, and I'll tell you, there hasn't been much stalling in this match.
No. But would you, as a coach, tend to avoid 84 next year with your top wrestlers? Put them in another weight class?
I don't think you need to do that. You know, you got to look at and analyze certain situations, but, you know, no, you don't want to avoid people. If you start avoiding people, then that's where you get yourself in trouble. Look at that.
Look at this.
Look at
Cormier
this.
coming around. He needs control, and he got it.
Wow.
Well, Sanderson gave up the first takedown in the semifinals last night. He found himself down 2-0. Well, that quickly went away. It's 5-4. Cael Sanderson on top. Is he going to let him have it?
Wow.
Yep.
See, Cormier thought he could get back in the match, but he forgot.
That is a player error by Cormier. He cut him loose and got caught in the process.
Well, he forgot he had to wrestle all the time.
Yep.
He was going to go for the takedown again. But in the process, it was the other guy still wrestling.
And Sanderson loves to attack. He's going to do it from any position, any time.
He's going to let him go?
Oh, I think he'll try to continue to ride him.
He's got under 30 seconds now to go. He's got the riding time guaranteed. He's got a 7-4 lead, actually 8-4 with the riding time. So Cormier has a lot of work to do in very little time.
And he's being very smart. I mean, you got to get the win. You know, I might have had the win with Owens, but I went for the pin, and that gave him an opportunity to escape. And, you know, right there, I saw he could have actually let him go, you know, because he's starting to do that, but now he realizes that I need to win this match.
Well, you brought that attitude to the Hawkeyes, though, too.
He's starting to feel perhaps a little bit of that pressure.
Yep. 2 more?
No.
No, he didn't let go of him.
He's staying at that ankle and knee. So that's real critical for control on a guy that's got good hips, and Cormier had good hips, but Sanderson beat him with his style.
He did indeed beat him with riding time, 8-4. Cale Sanderson defeats Daniel Cormier and remains undefeated in his NCAA career. 40-0 on the year. Sanderson, the junior, is unquestionably the best in college wrestling right now. Any advice as he goes forward to next year, Coach?
All I have to give him as advice is to keep doing what he's been doing. Don't think about, you know, the records or that type of stuff. Just keep getting better, and that's what he's been doing. Every year he's been getting better.
Well, let's take a look at the replay of the takedown that really turned things around. He
just got taken down, but you notice Cormier kind of took his time, and basically he just lost the.
There was that separation there as well between the two of them.
That took him out of the match, Cormier.
And you see the surprise on Daniel Cormier's face.
I don't know why he's surprised, but he knows he's wrestled this guy 6 times. This guy wrestles every second.
Cale Sanderson is your national champion. Dan Gable, I want to thank you for joining us here.
Thank you.
In the booth. Congratulations and good luck. And right now, Cale Sanderson is with our own Jeff Blatnick.
Thank you, Lon. Cale, congratulations. 3rd national championship in a row. Was it a bit harder than you expected?
It was tough. I knew it would be a tough match going in. I mean, Cormier's extremely hard to score on. He's a good athlete. He's a tough kid.
You now had, with that victory, 119-0 in your collegiate career. When you went to Iowa State, did you even believe in your wildest dream you would have that kind of record?
No, there's no way. I mean, that's just not something you can even dream about. It's too dangerous, but it's just a good surprise, I guess.
Well, I'm sure next year we're going to look forward to asking you, can you win 4? Cale, congratulations.
I don't know. We'll talk about it next year.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
All right, Cale Sanderson lives up to his billing. He's national champ at 184. We'll come back to the University of Iowa and the Division I NCAA Wrestling Championships right after this.
Hold on. We've got more prizes for the student who sells the most candy. A weekend pass to Coastal Kingdom to get out there and sell that candy.
The new Passat. It only looks like $1 million.
Where did that come from? I got it from cellularone.com. Forgot about that part.
Today we discover our destiny. Amid chaos, we find truth. Fight fear with strength. Because in this world, nothing is certain. The Bouncer, rated T for Teen. Squares.
A chunky Super Bowl moment. Terrell Davis's mom filled him up right with new Campbell's Chunky Grilled Sirloin and Vegetables. Fired up by this chunky grilled classic, Terrell made like grilled steak and sizzled.
We know that leaders are not born, leaders are made. And you are already a leader if you're here, and you have the potential for being even a better leader.
You have the power to create positive change. You should relish the fact that you can make a positive impact.
Ability! We are athletes! We are amazing! Why? Because what stands for you are safe and happy, and you are world leaders.
So halfway through the second period, Mark Munoz of Oklahoma State with a 5-2 lead on Pat Quirk of Illinois. Munoz seemed a bit frustrated early on by Quirk, but maybe has found a weakness in Quirk's defense.
What I like what Munoz does is he allows Quirk to charge into him, and he starts hopping backwards, and then off of one of those resets, he fires forward into the legs, and what he's really looking for is the single to Quirk's right leg. That's where he seems to be operating best. But with a 5-2 lead here, that's enormous for Munoz. He's good in close matches. And it's a solid defense that's really frustrating Quirk. Quirk really only had one opportunity, and Munoz took it away from him. Here's another one now.
But he's not been able to follow through. With
Time
8 seconds.
Right, time's against him here, Lon. See if he can finish. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Nope.
Munoz hangs on.
Hey, you got to go hard on that. Let's go. Good shot now. Put him away.
John Smith looking on as his wrestler Mark Munoz of Oklahoma State takes the top position on Pat Quirk of Illinois. Munoz with a 5-2 lead here in the final of 197 pounds. Beginning seconds of period number 3. Munoz is the Big 12 champ as well, and the stall warning against Munoz by a referee, David Hickson. What was the reason for that, John?
The stall call was given because Munoz was simply riding, wasn't doing anything to try to threaten Quirk in terms of creating back exposure or near fall points. If you can get perpendicular to your opponent, out to the side, they won't hit you for stalling. But when you stay behind, in line, and just hang, they're going to whack you.
Munoz now up top on Quirk. No riding time so far in this match. Munoz has 40 seconds of it now, but cuts him loose. So another point for Quirk, another escape point. And again, Quirk just a takedown away from tying up this match. 5-3.
What a move by Munoz. Oh, wow. Nice duck to turn. Quirk goes flying off the mat. Once again, Munoz avoids a potential scoring opportunity for Quirk.
Quirk has found something, perhaps.
There's the Munoz half shot. Nice change of direction by Quirk to spin behind, but Munoz very much on balance, turns to face and counters him out.
So now the final minute of these seniors' college career. Munoz with the lead. Will he be complacent and hang back? Pat Quirk needs to go all out. The number 7 seed has surprised many people to get into this championship final.
Munoz has just been solid this entire tournament. He shuts down a little bit here, and that may cost him with a stalling call.
Out of bounds.
But Munoz thrives on being defensive. He likes backing up a little bit because he feeds off the person coming.
You want to call him, you got to go. Come on, you're behind.
Head coach Mark Johnson of Illinois telling him if they want the referee to call him for stalling, you've got to have attacks, not just push, but attacks, threatening attacks, and maybe you get a point for doing that. But what he wants more than anything is a takedown. A takedown will knock the match, put it in overtime.
You have to shoot now, is what Mark Johnson's been telling him.
Here's a position he could score in. Munoz was stuck on his hip, but he's able to get back to his knees.
21 seconds to go. Pat Quirk frustrated. I think he's got the tools, but he just can't get in position to use them, Jeff.
In on a nice shot. Munoz, he was able to counter him down. Had a position that he might have been able to spin on, but he could not find the space to start that spin.
Saw Munoz just glance up at the clock. He knows 2 seconds, 1, and it's over. Pat Quirk's challenge to the top ends with a runner-up position. Oklahoma State has another national champion in the name of Mark Munoz, the number 1 seed, living up to that billing, and the senior goes out on top. He had his hands full with Pat Quirk of Illinois, but Munoz's defense was just too stringent to allow Quirk to get in and score. So that's 197. Munoz is the champion. We're coming back with the heavyweights to close out our NCAA wrestling coverage. Tommy Rollins and John Lockhart.
It's showtime at the Great Platte River Road Archway Monument, and it's spectacular. You'll trek west with the Pioneers, ride with the Pony Express. get caught in a buffalo stampede, and hear the rumble of an iron horse overhead. It's showtime at the Archway, a grand and glorious trip that takes you from the moccasin path to the fiber optic superhighway. It's showtime. Time to experience the Great Platte River Road Archway Monument in Kearney, Nebraska. We'll see you there.
Hi, I'm Randy Bushcutter. I'd like to talk to you about the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Studies show if high school graduates make it through their freshman year of college, there's a high probability they'll graduate. Well, at UNK, they provide committed professors, small classes, a motivated atmosphere, and a safe campus to help your student make it through their freshman year and receive a university degree in a small town setting. If money is an issue, then contact us about opportunities for housing and tuition. Call 1-800-KEARNEY to arrange a campus tour and to find out more about UNK.
University of Iowa, and our final matchup in the heavyweight division will be junior John Lockhart of the Illinois Fighting Illini, the number 4 seed, taking on freshman Tommy Rowlands, the 2nd seed of the Ohio State Buckeyes. A lot of matches wrestled between these two guys. 43 wins for Rowlands, 29 for Lockhart. A lot of people thought that the freshman in this final would be Garrett Lowney of Minnesota, but he was taken down in the earlier rounds, leaving these two gentlemen. Rowlands of Ohio State in the red and the blue for John Lockhart.
I talked to Coach Hellickson of Ohio State. He had nothing but great things to say about Tommy Rowlands. Says he moves like a lightweight. Doing a little research, found out when he was in high school, he started out as a 125-pounder, then the 160, then the 189, then the 215, and now as a redshirt freshman, he's probably a solid 235 pounds, and he moves well. Lockhart, on the other hand, not quite the mobility and attacking style of Rowland, but very solid, and what I like about looking at Lockhart is he seems to be able to avenge losses. Comes back and beats people who beat him, and that means he's a learner. Thinks about it, maybe loses a little sleep over it, but he gets the job done. And that was evident when Lowney defeated him in the Big Ten finals, but he came back here in the semifinals of the NCAA national tournament and beat Lowney.
Well, both of these wrestlers, different build, the champions we have seen in previous years. And I talk about Brock Lesnar of Minnesota, Stephen Neal of Bakersfield, two behemoth wrestlers. These guys are a little smaller scale.
Yeah, those, particularly Brock Lesnar, was, you know, a lot of power and a lot of muscle, but maybe not as much technique. Good, solid wrestler, but you talk about Stephen Neal. Now, there's a guy who's not only big and solid, he's also got all kinds of technique, and he went on to win the World Championships in 1999.
Well, same year he won the NCAA championship.
That's correct. He had a big year that year, NCAA, Pan Ams, and then on to the World Championships.
Minute 32 in the first period. 3-minute period. Final matchup here at the University of Iowa and the NCAA Division I Wrestling Championships. Lon McCarron along with Jeff Blatnick. It has been an amazing evening of individual performances. An amazing 3 days of team performance by the University of Minnesota, which sealed the team title during the consolation rounds. And there you see. What's he going to do with it? That's what they're wondering.
His one arm's pinned, and Rowland's not going to let him get his one arm back, and that's going to end out of bounds. And Rowland did a nice thing. He could have tried to bump him there, and he didn't. He released him safely. But an interesting position, and Lockhart couldn't capitalize. Normally, when you pick an opponent up, he's helpless. As we like to say when you get someone in the air, there's really no defense for falling.
But Rowland's had a piece of Lockhart, so he managed a stalemate.
It was interesting that one time that Rowland stopped moving, Lockhart hit a single leg shot. Rowland likes to create motion, but he really hasn't caught Lockhart off balance. Needs to snap more, maybe move the head more, and you want to pull the head towards between the feet, whatever direction that is. Lockhart is powerful, though. That stocky frame makes it tough to try to pick the leg up. That's the stuff that Rowland needs to do right there. Snap the head, make Lockhart take extra steps. We call it unbalancing. Other people say pummeling.
Final seconds of period number 1. No scoring. We'll be back to Iowa in just a moment.
Okay, tell me, what builds strong bones? Anybody know that one? Milk. Milk. What goes with pie? Milk. Milk. What goes with beans?
I mean, I don't want to hear.
Should have had your milk.
Get out.
And Q.
Q? Close?
What about a K?
No, G.
What about an X?
X. Seriously.
I'll have a root beer.
You'll have milk. Say it with me. Osteo.
Want strong bones? Calcium may help prevent osteoporosis.
Bingo.
Who is it? Inspector Collect. Open the door.
The music's too loud.
I ain't here about no music. I'm here to teach you about calling Collect.
What's wrong with dialing 0?
Use 1-800-COLLECT. It saves the people you call at least $1 or $2. Why you writing that down? 1-800, then collect. I pity the fool who don't remember that.
That's so easy.
I like it here. Is this thing a pull out? Use your head. Dial 1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2.
We've begun period number 3. We are tied at 1-1. Tommy Rowlands of Ohio State in the red and John Lockhart of Illinois. A couple of very active wrestlers throughout the year. 43 wins for Tommy Rowlands and 29 for Lockhart. 1-1, an escape point for each. Each unable to solve the puzzle of their opponent. Rowlands, it really has been the more active of the two, trying to get down low on the shots. And just as I say that, of course, Lockhart goes down for the double. But it's out of bounds.
John, good job on winning. I like what Rowlands is doing. It's not the amount of times you shoot, it's how effective your shots are. And thus far, when he has decided to shoot all but once, he's been pretty effective. Rowland, on the other hand, has a lot of shots, but maybe only one of them has really been threatening.
The fatigue factor, I would feel, has to come into the place for Rowlands. He's been pushing around the much bigger man in Lockhart to this point. And perhaps Lockhart waiting for the final minute, which we are now in, to do his duty.
And size now has a little bit of a role to play in that, knowing you're going under a big body that's going to hit you hard on the sprawl. I like that kind of thing, what Rowlands just did. He off-balanced him, but he didn't follow it up.
All right, we have 40 seconds to go now in the heavyweight championship of these wrestling championships at University of Iowa. The headgear is gone from Tommy Rowlands on that shot out of bounds. We see 32 seconds to go. Do they have one move that will work on their opponent? It's time to bring it out.
And so far, the tie is favored, I think, Lockhart. Every time Rowland binds, Lockhart seems much more comfortable in there. Maybe a 2-on-1 or something. Take the hand off the collar tie and use a 2-on-1 perhaps to start some motion. But when they're clinching like this, not much is going to happen.
It's going to risk it. You got to counter at that point. That's what Rowland was just waiting on, and they're out of bounds just as the third period ends, and we are tied. So with a tiebreaker, we will see a coin toss, but the coin toss really will come into play only if they go through the 1 minute of overtime. So in the tiebreaker, it looks like Lockhart has the advantage, or at least the choice to be up or down if they do not score any points in this first 1 minute.
Now,
so Rowland, we can expect to be pretty active.
Yeah, Rowlands is going to get very active here. He knows he's going to have to ride Lockhart. Lockhart was in this position last night to get to the finals, and he won the tiebreaker, being able to escape from the bottom. So he's had a bit of luck that he's won both coin tosses, but that's part of the tournament. You got to get lucky once.
Well, already we have seen the pace being picked up by these two wrestlers, and Rowlands is going to have to go down low and get that shot.
Got to clear the arms of Lockhart. He's trying an outside blast shot. Doesn't have enough penetration to get to the hips. Lockhart being warned. And notice Lockhart match savvy, always knowing where the line is, the out of bounds. And took a shot and he had to retreat. And he knew exactly where to go to get out of bounds.
Well, now Lockhart looking a bit winded. He cannot afford to back up as he just did. As you mentioned, Jeff, he's been hit with a stall warning, and that 1 point would be the end of it.
And once again, they're in that collar clinch, and that's going to limit Rowlands. Rowlands can't shoot from there, can't break and clear the arms of Lockhart of Illinois.
Well, Rowlands should just push forward and try to get Lockhart to back up. Maybe get the referee to give him another point. I don't know if he's going to give him a championship, though, on a stall call.
Oh, 8 seconds left unless Lockhart starts backing up from the moment the whistle blows. It's going to be tough. It's going to go to the tiebreaker.
Rollins has got to be explosive here. Clock's not running. Now the clock runs. So they got a couple extra seconds out of this.
I think they knew they were going to the tiebreaker.
Yep, that is time. So they knew, they hung on. So that is the end of now the overtime, and now it is the critical tiebreaker. John Lockhart won the toss. He gets the choice. You want to be up or down? He has said, I'm going to be down. So if Lockhart can escape within 30 seconds, he's a national title holder. If Tommy Rowland's going to hang on and ride this cowboy, he will be your national champion at the heavyweight. He goes for the leg. That might have been the best thing he could have done.
They're not going to let time go. In the tiebreaker, they're not going to let you just sit on an ankle. They're going to be very quick to call it. Lockhart nearly got away. Lockhart's very good. He's very stout, so he's not a lot of limb to grab. He's not lanky in any way, so he's going to get to his feet. The question is, what can Rowland do not to let him cut away? Now, he might get warrants for stalling here. There it is.
There it is. 18 seconds left. So he can't do that again. He's burned almost half the time, but he's not going to have an opportunity to do that again. It's Tommy Rowland. So he's going to have to hang on around the neck, around the arms, the waist for 18 seconds to win. All John Lockhart has to do is get out of the grasp of Tommy Rowland to win a national title. And now Russ Hellickson is very upset with the referee, Mike Allen, for that call. And he's been warned.
Well, that stall call happened awful quick. I think that's why Hellickson said it, but it was the second time. That was actually the first time he dropped down on the leg. The first one, they were up on their feet when he went to the leg.
He's trying to pick him up.
That's it.
12 seconds. No, he can't do it. John Lockhart of Illinois, the number 4 seed, works his way through the bracket and is your national champion in the heavyweight division. We'll be back to wrap things up at the University of Iowa in just a moment.
1-800-COLLECT presents Ava Save-A-Lot.
Need to make a call?
Yeah, and I don't carry change.
Ever hear of 1-800-COLLECT?
Are you kidding?
So you know it saves at least $1 or $2.
Yeah, and it's easy. How long